This shows you how to install your own pool cover. So you snap a few lines on the outside here where you want your plugs to be. You mark them all with a Sharpie based on your cover. But what I did was put my two main strips in first, tightened them up, then I pulled my middles, put them down, then I did my corners, got it all tight where I wanted it, then I filled in. So drilling the plugs is pretty easy. There's the old ones, pretty hard to get out. So what I'm going to do is just drive these down. I had a pretty good idea, which was to save all the dust from drilling my new plugs, which I'll use to patch any of the old ones because the holes don't line up. If you're not familiar with doing this, it's really not that hard. Don't be too scared. You can make a mistake here and there. The mistake I made was maybe not leaving enough space to pull the cover tight. I'm hoping the cover doesn't stretch too much over time that I wish I had moved these back more. That's probably the only thing I'm not happy with. But other than that, these are the tools you need. I use a Bosch drill. Make sure it doesn't catch a rebar or a wire when you're drilling because it'll knock you on your butt. I had a bucket and a little bin that I was carrying my stuff around with. I could probably simplify this a lot. Knee protectors so that I could kneel down and drill my holes. Then they give you this little no-go gauge. You put this in the hole, make sure that you're deep enough. Sometimes you have to re-drill, but then you take the plugs that they give you, and one second. Here's the plug that goes in the hole, and here's the tappet that goes in there, and I greased them up with marine grease so that I can get them to come out every year. But then in order to put them in the holes, you just basically put this in the hole, tap it with a hammer until you're just flush. Don't ever try to drive them in if your hole's not deep enough. You'll really be unhappy. I got a few left over because a couple of my plugs matched the old cover, but make sure you're deep enough, but not by like too much. I don't think you want to necessarily drill through your slab. I think you want to just have them deep enough. So there you go. These things aren't going to last forever. They get deformed. But and then the neat trick with these is the spring tool. So when you're show you this is the easiest way I found to pop one. This one right here probably has the least tension on it of all of them, because you have to be careful. If you do this, they're gonna fly, so you got to be careful. Boom, there it is, it's off. But now you take this and you get that, you have to keep playing with it till you get it where you think you want it. So I'm gonna set this down a second, put this on. Put that on there, and this is the way you thread these in there, just like that. I put my split ring underneath. Pretty easy to do. And then this has to get over to there. This one is the shortest one in the cover, so it doesn't have a lot of tension on it. So, but what I'm basically going to do is put this in here like this. One sec. Then I'm going to put it over the plug like this, one-handed. And then as you tilt this up to vertical, once you go past vertical, the ring just snaps behind the clip. Couldn't be easier. And they say you can use this to take them off, but I found that to be extremely difficult. You could, if they had this drilled with a T-handle in it, you could put that in there and spin it right off like that. But I just find the hammer, just pop the loop. It's not holding by all that much. Just stay out of the way when when they boink, but I noticed that they go away from you as long as you're on this side. Just make sure nobody's over there because they have a lot of pressure on them. But that's it. Walk through the tools again. Okay, I could probably condense this video a lot, but here you go. In order, knife to open the box. I used a straight stick and a marker to get some of my marks. I did find that if I had a misdrill, that I could get them out by snapping them up with 2 bars pretty quick. Just a quick snap. Even the ones I had drilled in, I could get out. So there you go. There's that. We were using this pair of vice grips to tap them slowly out. So some of the old ones, if they're stuck and you can't get them out, so I would recommend grab them, make a little progress, turn it back in, a little more progress, turn it back in, a little more, and you could always squirt some WD-40 in there. But once you get those out, then you could take your beater tool, your go gauge and your beater tool, and drive these down, because undoubtedly they were over drilled the first time. And if you can't, then I guess you got no choice, but you gotta take a screwdriver and wreck them, or a drill and wreck them out of there to patch the old holes. But again, I got the perfect patch material, the exact material that I drilled out. So I can just use a thumb's worth of mortar, mix it with that, or actually just re-wet it and put it back in there, and over time it'll turn right back into concrete. So there you go. That's your job. And here you go. For the spring, you're gonna have to put these down in flush in the spring after you take the cover off, so nobody hits their toes on there, and that's it. 7 minutes, put on a pool cover. Came out great.